This UFL Picks Week 6 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Naira Bets. Bet the Kentucky Derby by using code SGPN25 for a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match at nyrabets.com/SGPN25 and start winning today.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Hello, Sean.
What's happening?
Spuds, how's everything over there?
Oh, Spuds is doing great. He's the ultimate party animal. Look at Spuds sticking out his tongue. He's ready to rock. He's ready to roll. He's ready for some spring football. He's got his little jersey on. Go Birds. Joining us on the line to talk all things United football from the UFL Gambling Podcast and the college experience, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. Colby, what's happening?
Where's Colby? Colby, where are you? There you are.
Oh, I was talking to myself. Wasn't the first time, but I'm good. We got. I love supporting a league. I'm looking at the stats right now, guys, and I love supporting a league, and I love betting money on the Michigan Panthers when, you know, the quarterback rating for Bryce Perkins is 107.1. The next best is 87.6. Glad to see they didn't, put him out there in the fourth quarter on the most important drive of the game.
Now it sounds like the Danny Etling, the Danley Etling, and this is what's insane about these coaches. It's hard enough to handicap these games sometimes because there's not a lot of information. We can barely get injury reports, let alone rosters. And then they insist on playing quarterbacks that are much worse than the other quarterback. You have Bryce Perkins, who is maybe one of the best players in the league, and then just sitting him for Danny Etling and then costing you the game. What am I missing, Colby?
I don't even think you will say maybe. I'm looking at every stat right now, and I see completion percentage. He's number one in the league. Yards per attempt. He's number one in the league. And then the QBR. He is like 20 points better than anybody in the league. And they sit him out at the most critical time. And of course, the backup throws an interception, and he was mic'd up for that. That was pretty hilarious. But the
two quarterback experiment with Etling. The Etling experiment is over, right? It sounds like they've named finally week 6. Bryce Perkins is the starter.
I refuse to believe any of this because last year he did the same thing, and the stats still like I don't understand. I don't understand it's a flaw of the league. We've said from the start is like if you're trying to become a fan, if you're a Michigan Panther fan. You don't bring in James Jones to run the ball over Barry Sanders. You know what I mean? Like you come there to see their best players play. It's very stupid.
Whoa. What happened to Colby's audio?
Colby's breaking up, and I think my audio might need to be boosted a little bit, Ryan, or at least the in studio.
I think Colby's just louder than us for some reason. Yeah, our audio is good, but we'll work on it.
Okay. Colby, any other big takeaways from the UFL week 5? Not great for us picks wise, although we did all get our money line dog correctly. Kramer had the Houston Roughnecks, who destroyed the Brahmas as 3.5 point dogs. We both had the Defenders, who won outright. So we did cash some plus 165, plus 150 money line bets, but the rest of it, and the Panthers was just, my God, to me, the biggest kind of like crazy outlier. And again, I'm kicking myself. I kept saying always bet on the Battlehawks when they're Birmingham team. How do you lose at home to the Showboats? They lost 24-20. What happened?
Yeah, I know, and they kind of got beat up, and this is a concern. I think now they're the only team in the league.
Colby, leave and come back. Something's up with Colby's audio. Leave and come back, Colby.
What's?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Colby's underwater. All right,
Colby might be underwater. Colby, leave. I'll make Colby leave. There you go.
Kramer, what is your take on the Michigan Panthers? The Memphis Showboats, Birmingham Stallions. That was one of the few things we could rely on, was that this Stallions team was just going to boat race everyone, that they were the best team in the league. And now I can't even believe in that.
That's my big takeaway. That
no one really,
no one's good anymore.
Which is great.
The fix is in
Birmingham. I mean, DC is the best team in the league at 4-1, but they don't look that good.
I would say the ownership of the league has stepped in, possibly, and
they're trying to make everyone a little bit worse to make things more competitive. What's the end game here?
Well, the 2 quarterback thing is Colby's been on to the entire time. It's certainly, if it was any other sport, we would be having conversations about if the fix is.
Yeah, I get they're paying all the guys the same. It's almost like a weird shift change or so. Why you play the best players? Some of these coaches have really struggled with that strategy. But if you look at the USFL division, Stallions 3-2, Panthers 3-2, Roughnecks 2-3, Showboats 1-4, but they just beat the best team, quote unquote, the Stallions. And then the XFL division, DC 4-1, 3-2, Renegades 3-2, Battlehawks, Brahmas 1-4. So I don't think anyone have Showboats and Brahmas been eliminated. I think they still have a shot.
No one's been I don't think anyone's been eliminated.
Yeah, because you have 10 games. Colby, correct me if I'm wrong. No team has been eliminated yet from the playoffs, right?
No, I don't believe so. I don't know which. I was underwater there, but
you're doing some scuba diving.
I'm back up. I don't know what you talked about over the past couple minutes, but
we were just talking about how dumb the league is.
Well, yeah. That Birmingham used to be able to at least rely on the Stallions to show up, but that didn't happen. And they're 3-2, and even their wins, they haven't looked great. They're really sleepwalking through the regular season. Maybe they turn it on here in the playoffs, but certainly, the Renegades future, that's the bright spot on the futures market for me. But maybe Birmingham does turn it around. All they got to do is get in the playoffs, and it feels like they probably get it done. But where are you at with the league as a whole, Colby?
Yeah, they're still the 1 seed. Birmingham is, but they're the only. I think them and Memphis are the only teams that have had 3 quarterbacks in 5 games. But Matt Corral is coming back. But I mean, the league as a whole, I think it's been a disaster this year. But I mean, at least we have. At least some teams are starting to play better football. Like if Bryce Perkins, if Mike Nolan is not any more of an idiot and just stops and says Bryce Perkins is our guy, the league wins. Matt Corral getting healthy, I think, is a good thing. Max Duggan looked really good for the Battlehawks. If they know how to utilize him, that could be a thing. And then
he might be the best quarterback in the league all of a sudden.
Well, Bryce Perkins, I still would have above him, but Duggan certainly
just beat him head to head, Sean. You're Jalen Hurts.
Well, no, but Bryce
that wasn't his fault.
But didn't play the entire game. Like if the Eagles in Super Bowl 59 randomly subbed in Kenny Pickett in clutch moments, I might give Jalen Hurts a pass there. And the offense seems to be waking up. I mean, look at these totals, with the exception of the Roughnecks and Brahmas, which only the under cashed easily. They're only 30 points. These overs were just destroyed. I mean, 70 points in Defenders Renegades, 59 points in Panthers Battlehawks, and then 44, which are coming by 6.5 there. This might be the highest scoring week in UFL history. The offenses have finally figured things out. This league is just insane. It's truly all over the place.
Yeah, no, the offense is being figured out, though. I think it's a testament for the most part to Teamo and Luis Perez get all the snaps.
Yeah,
it's kind of important to the offense and rhythm and just your whole.
But that's the other thing, and then where I'm losing my mind. You have like a very limited amount of time to prepare. You have a very limited amount of practice time. You have all these limitations. So just pick one quarterback and stick with them. But like to work in two quarterbacks, it's the same way they always talk about this in the NFL where, hey, we're not going to, the backup quarterback doesn't get any snaps during a game week. Like what are they doing with two quarterbacks? You don't have that much time to practice even your simple installs.
It's probably even less with
yes.
Let me ask you guys this.
They gotta work at UPS during the day and then get practice and study the plays. They have no what are you doing to these guys?
Let me ask you this.
Quarterback and ride with it.
Do you think this is a result? Because I don't know that we've ever seen a spring, like I don't recall watching many spring leagues where they played both quarterbacks this much. And do you think this is a result of them just owning every team? Because I feel like if you had individual owners, you'd be like, no, I want to win this thing. Start my best player.
I think you're on to something with some sort of playing time guarantee in the contract.
I think now maybe it's something to that, but again, clearly they don't really care that much about the players. Like they were, hey, you guys want a union? Fuck off. I think it might be they want to roll the dice. Like, hey, maybe one of these guys ends up being really awesome. Let's see as many quarterbacks as we can in case one of them hits and they end up becoming a star. I think there might be something of that. But to your guys' point, I think the fact that it's all the teams are owned by the same entity, I think lends itself to like, well, hey, if we all play two quarterbacks, then it won't be a competitive advantage. Oh, hey, most teams should play two quarterbacks. There's got to be something going on behind the scenes with the two quarterback thing.
I still think it's incredibly, like, I picture myself as a kid that was trying, watching all these other alt leagues, and I was watching the CFL, and I remember like there was a Baltimore team pre the Ravens, and they had a quarterback named Tracy Ham who was a baller. Now he was never NFL good, but he was a baller for the CFL standards. Doug Flutie the same way for a while. You wanted to watch the games because of him, and if you know that one of your best players isn't going to be playing, or like what, I don't think it's a smart idea to gain fans.
No, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, look what Jacksonville just did in the draft. They drafted a guy that was going to draw an attention to the team by way of a stardom. In the spring football, like, you're not going to do that with a non-quarterback position. So yeah, I mean, it's clear there has to be something contractual causing this. There's no way a football coach would want
I don't know if it's necessarily contractual, but I do think it's the league. The fact that they're owned by the same entity, I think, lends itself to this two quarterback thing.
And how could it be contractual when you have like Arlington and DC? I think Perez and Teamo have gotten all the snaps.
No, that is weird that there's 2 of the 8 teams don't do it. It makes no sense. But
it's almost like there's 2 types of quarterback contracts, and some of these teams gave 2 guys, like multiple guys.
But they all supposedly are getting paid the same amount. There's something.
Then why would an old school quarterback or old school coach?
It's a Ponzi scheme. It's the only.
Well,
I mean,
are the coaches getting bonuses based on quarterback playing time?
Who knows? Who knows what the hell is going on? We do have to. There was a great interaction. What's cool about these alternate leagues, as Colby refers to them, is that you get an up close interaction with some of these players, right? Like, hey, you get access, you get to hang out. It's easy to get front row seats and really get up close with some of the players in the games, and which created this moment between Puka Nakua's brother getting into it with
Samson
a battle.
Nakua.
Samson Nakua. Yeah, I know him as Puka Nakua's brother. But he does. You're right, Colby. He does have a first name. This is Samson Nakua. I mean, this is how you know people you don't think they're passionate about these games. Look at Samson Nakua interacting with a St. Louis Battlehawks fan. Oh man, that is beautiful.
Is that the smack I hear?
Yeah. Now, if you're listening to the audio, you got to go to youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast just to watch the video. The Samson Nakua, he puts his finger in the guy's face. The guy is like leaned over the rail, chirping super loud, and then just extends his hand and whacks him. And the guy filming it is like, oh, he slapped the shit out of him. But you can hear now. I don't want to blast the audio too loud, but you can hear the slap from Samson Nakua. It doesn't seem to rattle the guy too much, but it's visual. It's just great. Oh man, that is great.
You can hear the smack. You can 100% hear the smack.
Well, he does like the fake flex move and then hits him with the slap. It's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie.
And then they suspend him. That's like the best thing. That's like the best highlight of the season. And then we suspend the guy a game. What you want more of this?
Also, the guy was fine. Clearly, I mean, he kept talking shit after he got slapped. He's not that rattled. And this is, I mean, what better way to promote the league? Hey, in the UFL, if you want to get into it with the fans, we allow that. Okay. You want to, hey, you're a fan. You want to talk shit. You might get punched in the face. I would be more inclined to go to a game and talk some shit. The thrill of potentially getting punched in the face, make them sign a waiver, whatever it is. And you mix things up.
It's like getting hit with a golf ball at a golf tournament, right? You're signing that right away when you.
It's like when you live on a golf course, your house might get hit with a golf ball. Same thing at a Battlehawks game. If you're gonna be sitting there leaning over the rail talking shit, it's great that you're so passionate about the UFL that you're talking so much shit to Samson Nakua to the point where he's like, all right, I got to fucking slap this guy. Just amazing. Beautiful.
Well, and I disagree with the suspension. I think that's actually something like, once again, if you're trying to get the league, if you want people to be excited about it, I think him playing is a bonus this week. And then, I mean, we saw this. Remember last year they took away the beer snake for a few weeks.
Just dumb. Like to Colby's point,
well, this season they're having like sideline reporters in the just doing beer snake updates,
which is good. Like if there's stuff that's different or fun about your league, don't run away from it. Embrace it. Like, hey, this is the league where you can do the beer snake. This is the league. I get your point about not wanting the differentiator to be like the rule stuff. But yeah, hey, remember XFL? They had they had the cool camera angles, like whatever it is that separates your league. Hey, UFL, you might get punched by one of the players. Whatever it is that's different and fun about your league, let it ride.
No, I think that they went into like corporate mode where they were just like, well, we only had 7 fans there, and one of them just got slapped. So
awesome. someone in the comments was like, "Good luck suing him." He's like, "Best case, you get $2,000." It's not quite as deep pockets as the National Football League. All right, we're gonna get into some games, get some picks, but of course, all our picks brought to you by Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, earn cashback rewards, 100% approval on all betting deposits. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet and make sure you use that promo code SGPN. So you get that sweet deposit bonus. That's right. Deposit $25 and Edge Boost will match the deposit. Edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. Again, completely free. Help us out. Help yourself out. And of course, we're also brought to you by Nyra Bets, NYRA Bets. It's Derby week here on SGPN. Look at those beautiful, majestic animals. Make sure, of course, check out the Notorious OTB. The great horse racing podcast. And of course, we will be doing a Kentucky Derby preview with all the guys from the Notorious OTB, as well as our buddy Malcolm. And of course, get in on the action, the most exciting 2 minutes in sports with Nyra Bets. Look at this. You get a $25 free bet and a $200 sign up bonus, but only when you use our promo code SGPN25. Join now to claim your $25 free bet. But we're going to talk about it in the preview, but I'm not using my $25 free bet on any, plus 300. It's Ryan. Remember when I won on Country House? That was a beautiful day.
Yep. We both won.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Join now to claim your $25 free bet and $200 deposit match bonus at nyrabets.com/SGPN25. That's nyrabets.com/SGPN25. And of course, as always, if you're looking to bet the UFL or the NBA playoffs, MLB, whatever it is, head over to mybookie.ag and use the promo code SGPN. 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply on the deposit. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code SGPN.
Another Derby memory is, I'm sure I'm positive I've told this story on the podcast because it happened during the time that we were doing the podcast, but I'll have another. I was in Vegas cashing in on, this was at the peak of me being a degenerate and just being in Vegas every month. And I was playing in a bingo tournament where I had just won like something like 7,500 or like 12,500 in betting vouchers in a bingo tournament. Like I had actually won fucking bingo.
Really?
And I had a stack of papers. Each one was like 25 or $50. And it's like the where you just have to go to the table and start playing them. Anyway, as this thing's happening, the Derby's about to run. I walked down after getting this stack of free play tickets to hit my absurdly large bet on I'll have another 18-1. I'll never forget that. That was my first four-figure horse cash.
That came with the free T-bone steak. The credits. The credits.
My God. I mean, just think about where you are as a human. If you're going to Vegas to play in a bingo free roll.
Well, that was because I was just out in Phoenix for a high school got together, had a high school golf hang out in Arizona. Colby couldn't make it. He was in the member guest back in North Carolina.
What happened?
Well, and his handicap's too good to play with us. But we went to the found ourselves at the Talking Stick Resort and Casino. Great casino there out in the Phoenix area. Went in, and last time I was at the Talking Stick, I forgot to sign up for a player's card. I made sure to sign up for one this time. Buddy Justin, from the Die Hard Eagles podcast.
We know him from the NFL draft feed.
Oh yes, he was the Cabana guy who was popping in, giving me some cold ones and fucking with the feed. That was pretty fun.
And I don't want to blow up his spot, but he did also text me that night to ask for some audio files of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he's used.
He
those
did.
yet.
He played those.
Okay.
He played those. And shout out to you for giving them.
Justin's a good guy.
I was not initially in on the Jalen Hurts pick, but I quickly changed my tune, and I'm happy to be wrong. And God bless Jalen Hurts. We got $25 in free play immediately, slot free play. So immediately took it over to the.
Very good.
Well, but
no progressive or any machine.
I don't think they did the progressive,
Nice.
but I did the smart thing, Ryan.
Yeah.
We took it to the virtual blackjack. Did the 1x play.
Not the smart thing.
Did the 1x playthrough. So I got $25 in free play. I turned it into $45 in cash that I then took over to the actual blackjack table. But I was getting at, we also got free tickets to play bingo.
Oh,
never got around to it. Got sidetracked playing real gambling stuff. But I didn't know people actually played bingo at casinos.
No, I mean, it was like I said, it was a free roll, and you're going against people that will have no idea if they win or not. So think about the edge you have just being a coherent human being.
All right, yeah, I guess that's one way to look at it.
Yeah. All right, you want to talk UFL?
Let's go.
Colby, anything else to get off your chest before we move forward?
No, just hey, Skip Holtz, let's get the Stallions together. Actually, I mean, I just want to make sure they make the playoffs. They look a little shitty, but I feel like Matt Corral's coming back. They're the one of the only teams that's had 3 quarterbacks in 5 weeks. So, actually because of injury, not because let's put in another quarterback. So maybe that will fix everything. But we need all of our futures in the playoffs. So I feel like seeing Houston and San Antonio and certain teams that were in the basement actually score some wins, it's going to make it for an interesting postseason race in this bullshit league, Sean.
Agreed.
I thought Colby was going to go a different direction. I thought he might have a comment on the CFL putting Shedeur Sanders on their potential
negotiation list or
whatever. Colby, we haven't spoken to you since the draft stream. where you laughed quite loudly when the Giants selected Jackson Dart because it was before Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur Sanders ends up going after Tyler Shuck, Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Milroe was the only one that I would be like okay with. The other ones,
oh, interesting.
The other ones I think are ridiculous. But I will say this: I don't know that I'm gonna look good because you get drafted by the Browns. That fucks up your whole life. So
really
yeah,
also, it's funny to think of Shedeur, like he was showing off his briefcase of money when you get drafted in the Browns in the 5th round. It's very funny to think of him doing that with the CFL with all their money with like the geese on it and the Queen Victoria.
Dude, I was saying this before he had gotten drafted by the Browns when he was slipping. I was like, why didn't I'm old enough to remember when like Rocket Ishmael was projected 1st round draft pick and chose the CFL over the NFL because at the time there was no like the rookie contracts were pretty shitty. So I thought, why not? You get paid like you can get paid like some of the CFL quarterbacks get paid like $1 million or so. You could but also Toronto.
But also too, if you're considering that Shedeur and Quinn Ewers, why would you not? Now I guess Shedeur, he certainly thought in his mind that he was going to get drafted pretty high. Like his over under for draft spot initially started at 3.5 picks. It ended up being over 3.5 rounds. But like Quinn Ewers and Shedeur, you would have been better off, I think, 1, working on your game, and 2, getting paid a decent amount. Like if you get drafted in the Browns in the 5th round, your chance of success is incredibly low. And Quinn Ewers, if you're a 7th round pick in the NFL, nobody gives a fuck about you. It's crazy. He went from the odds on favorite to be the number 1 pick overall to a 7th round pick all in the course of a year. But still had like high demand. Like Colby, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like Quinn Ewers still could have got a bag if he stayed in college.
1,000,000%. I mean, like that was I was surprised when he came out. Like the Shedeur one, I was not that surprised because I thought I know there's the whole like the way he handled the NFL draft and meeting with the teams and stuff, but I don't think there's a major gap between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. If anything, I think Shedeur Sanders throws less 50-50 balls, and that's why I'm kind of puzzled by it. But you never know what goes on with when you meet with all the teams, and he didn't meet with a good chunk of them, I think. So
yeah, well, he didn't help himself. He was way too cocky considering his skill set.
Did you hear Ross Tucker on Dan Patrick's show talk about how for Colorado State, Shedeur 2 times ghosted him on an interview? And the second time, like after saying he couldn't make the interview, he was just hanging out in his pickup. Like Ross left the facility, he's just sitting outside in his pickup truck.
But I do want to shit on the narrative.
Let me do my Ross Tucker real quick. I think that Mother's Day is the greatest holiday of the year, and what better way to say I love you with mom than 1-800 Flowers. Shedeur Sanders hanging out, probably enjoying a cold one later, and of course, if you like cold ones, get a Labatt Blue. I'm Ross Tucker, who definitely did not have any brain damage, but talks really slow on my ad reads.
If you don't listen to him in 1.5 speed, you also might have brain damage.
I listen to him regular speed.
That's crazy.
I find myself just dying laughing.
There were some like after round 1, like folks speculating that he should withdraw from the draft and go back to college.
He probably could have been able to sue and win. I just don't know if the court case would come before the season. But I thought that would make sense too. But I just want to just shit on the narrative of like I just came back from the mountains and we listened to a bunch of like sports radio on the way up, me and my brother, and every narrative was like the NFL's watching. They know that these things, questionable, personality. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. First off, I can make a list of 30 players that were involved. I mean, fucking Eugene Robinson had a prostitute and played in it, got busted for prostitution in Miami and played like 6 hours later.
Yeah.
Right. Like, shut the fuck up on character.
Ray Lewis may have murdered a guy. Look at the Ravens. The point is his nonsense. And I think Kramer did a good job of the comparison. His comp is Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow coming into the NFL wasn't like a super hype prospect. They obviously struggled with his mechanics and throwing the football. And then, he still got drafted in the first round. It was a bit of a stretch by Josh McDaniels there. And after that was over, and same thing with Colin Kaepernick, where did he have some talent? Certainly. Is he a better backup than maybe some of the other guys in the league? Yeah, but you don't want your backup quarterback being the story. You don't want to.
But still, there's enough. I mean, isn't it like a quarterback pandemic? Like I feel like
that just shows you that they didn't think he had the talent. If his talent and his ability was that good.
Yeah, I just disagree there though. Like I think based on his tape, you can't tell me that. I mean, like, I understand the other side of like being a distraction, but I think there's just some
forget distraction. Imagine there's only 32 jobs, and then imagine you actively sabotage your chances to get a job with a third of those teams, and another third don't need quarterbacks. Like it very quickly, you're out of places to go, and like. He still went to the Browns. Like, for all we know, the list of teams that were willing to draft Shedeur Sanders
was the
Browns and the Eagles, because we now know the Eagles were going to draft him.
Well, Eagles are QB factory, and he would benefit greatly from being in a Colby, in a great franchise.
To your point, Colby, he might have the talent, but he turned down the Senior Bowl, he turned down the Shrine Bowl, he turned down like everything.
Didn't throw it.
And
the
frankly,
combine.
you have to be fucking good to not work out for an NFL team. That's just dumb.
He didn't think he had to sing and dance. He thought, hey,
fucking Travis Hunter ran routes for him out of pro.
Yeah.
Travis Hunter didn't have to do shit.
No, Travis Hunter.
He's a competitor.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. Like, if it was me, I don't like all that shit, but I'm saying like, and I would play or do as much as whatever. It's football, have fun. Right. But I still just, I don't agree that I just think he's good enough for a bunch of those franchises. Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, I didn't watch the NFL last year, but I'm saying like a lot of people, a lot of people on Twitter were saying that the quarterback play is fucking terrible.
I wouldn't agree with that. I don't think the quarterback play is terrible. I think the NFL didn't see him and his arm as a top prospect. And then you throw in the way he conducted himself in the pre-draft process. As a quarterback, it's a big mental game. You have to be the leader. You have to be the face of the franchise. And they just don't want any sort of nonsense. Why has Jalen Hurts succeeded? Well, one, yeah, he certainly has a decent amount of athletic talent and God-given talent, but he came in there. He was drafted as a backup quarterback. Shedeur Sanders also drafted as a quarterback. Put his fucking nose to the grindstone, did everything right, said everything right, and worked his fucking ass off. And when he got his opportunity, he showcased his ability. Shedeur Sanders will get a chance to showcase his ability. I mean, you got drafted in the NFL. They will put you out there. If he comes in, if this lights a fire under his ass, and I don't know Shedeur well enough to say whether it will or won't. I guess I'm skeptical in the way that he's conducted himself, both post getting drafted and in the pre-draft process.
Never been coached by not his dad.
But maybe this lights a fire under his ass, and he comes in there and he knows the playbook. He knows the routes. He's all over the progressions.
Maybe, but he's a Cleveland Brown. That to me, I thought like, okay, he'll be that.
This, like, Stefanski has done a decent job, with the exception of Deshaun Watson, getting good stuff out of. Dude, he had Joe Flacco as comeback player of the year. So don't tell me that he
over
can't
a guy
succeed.
Who died.
Yeah, a guy literally died and came back to life. And Kevin Stefanski took Joe Flacco's dusty ass and made him comeback player of the year.
But hold on,
he has an opportunity. I just don't want the Browns thing to be an excuse. I agree with you.
Sure.
Getting drafted by the Browns is a nightmare scenario. But if you are that guy, if you are a dog, if you do have that that fire in your belly to become something great, you can do it. No excuse.
Can though, I want us to be able to interview someone with the Browns this offseason, because there's not one world where Dylan Gabriel is ahead of Shedeur Sanders, because the same weakness that they say Shedeur Sanders has is arm strength. Well, have you seen Dylan Gabriel's deep ball?
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe they drafted Dylan Gabriel to piss him off.
Maybe. I mean, because that one is mind numbing to me. I'm like, wait a second here. So you're telling me that's what cost him, but then this guy went way ahead. I'm just so puzzled as into how that even happens.
Yeah, you go watch after he gets drafted in the 5th round, he puts his entire contract in cash in a Louis Vuitton what was that even? A box?
Trunk. It's a trunk.
I mean, what are you going on a train traveling Europe? Why does anyone need a Louis Vuitton trunk for anything, let alone putting your entire 5th round contract? Yeah. There is an element, and by the way, Jalen Hurts went to the Senior Bowl. Jalen Hurts went to the combine.
He did all the right stuff.
I think there is an element of
respect the game, right? Respect the game in the process, right?
How? All right, you're a professional football player on whatever team he lands on, so the Browns, and you see this clown 5th round pick having a fucking. He spent $1 million on his draft room. Like, how do you not
at the same time, though,
You've
man,
been on a sports team. How do you not clown this guy?
Fair, but at the same time, this was a guy who was a high rated high school kid that elected to play in the FCS over FBS. You know what I mean? Like that.
For his dad. Again, let's see.
I don't give a shit who you're playing for, though. You really that to me is a character quality that you should know that.
Yeah, he went somewhere he knew he would be the starter instead of having to compete for the job.
He would have started though a lot of schools.
Videos with Cam Ward, dog, certified dog, just calls him a bitch repeatedly.
No, that's
all I need to say.
I think there is a chance Shedeur pulls this off and ends up becoming
I've been so right about it.
NFL starter. I think there is, but I don't know his character well enough to know that he's behind the 8 ball right now, and he's got to fucking put in the work. Now I don't know if he's got that in, but to Colby's point, like the kid did make some clutch big throws at high level football, and I think he does have some talent.
Yeah,
Let's see how it goes when he throws his offensive line under the bus in the
I'm just telling you, I don't think he's not complete trash, but he has his
Guess
work
what?
cut out.
Dion, all-time shit talker. Dion also all-time fucking athlete. Yeah. So it's whatever.
All right, let's talk UFL.
I almost want to get out there ahead of it and predict that he will be cut.
Well, it's not a bold take.
He'll get himself cut. And then he'll be playing in spring football. Shout out.
Maybe he'll end up in the UFL.
Shout out to the spring. If he could only be all right right now, dead serious. Who would you rather have, Luis Perez or Shedeur Sanders?
Shedeur Sanders
leading the Arlington Renegades.
I mean, I don't think you assess his skill level is better than majority of those quarterbacks, man. Like
Luis Perez has played in every spring league for many different coaches, all not his father.
One is the spring king, one is Arlington. But I would still take Shedeur.
Arlington heads to St. Louis.
Wait, didn't Shedeur play 1 year in the spring? In the FCS.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
FCS.
Arlington was
spring joker.
So did Cam Ward. The irony of the racist NFL to only select one of the FCS black quarterbacks in the first round. Arlington Renegades and the Spring King head down to St. Louis. Colby, I'm gonna ask you to take back your comments about the Samson Nakua. When was that? What game was that? The Samson Nakua clip that was in St. Louis, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, there were over 14,000 people at that game, Colby.
Allegedly.
Your comment about there only being 7. So you think those numbers are being fluffed up a little bit? Some no-show jobs.
Well, I had a friend that went to not this past week, 2 weeks ago, I believe it was, or 3 weeks ago. He went to the game and sent me a photo, and it didn't look like the number that they put on Twitter of like 35,000. I was like,
look at Colby bragging. I have a friend who went
he
to
sounds
UFL
like
game.
Trump in the inauguration. He's bragging about numbers.
I'm just saying they're cooking the books.
Well,
they're cooking the books. You saw it on that Friday night Birmingham game when they said 10,000 people were there, and then you saw it on the TV. You're like, man, that's like 12 people at this game.
That is true. And we got the reports of Detroit having way too many concession workers. I wonder if there are more concession workers or fans. Battlehawks laying 2.5 -155 on the money line. The 42.5 is the total. Arlington +130. Let's see. We got
Colby, what are you doing
master
here? For me, it's I'm kicking myself for not playing St. Louis yesterday. I had a rule that I was always going to take St. Louis at home. The dome is something real, and I think the fans, they literally got slapped in the face. They're going to be chopping at the bit. And Arlington, they're 3-2, but you look at what they've done. They do also seem like a team that's a little bit better at home than they are on the road. They just lost to DC outright at home. I think you got to take St. Louis laying the short number. What are you doing, Colby?
I'll take. I think Arlington's a better team. I think guys. I guess we should have highlighted this, but like the Panthers had over 400 yards of offense and lost. It's like. That's like seeing a unicorn in this league, right?
No, but isn't that how this league works? Whoever has the most yards loses. I feel like that's a strong trend.
Well, especially don't you go out there and get 400, 500 yards. You will lose a fucking game. All right. So, I just don't know how good St. Louis is. I mean, I will say if they continue to having Bruce Gradkowski not be the OC like that, and actually working on Duggan's skill set, which I was, I rewatched the game today, and I mean
that must draw some red flags. They're like, oh my god, someone's rewatching.
They
this.
do rerun it a ton.
It is on a decent amount in the studio.
FS1 they're getting their money's worth out of this league.
Well, Duggan,
the two things that gets ratings for FS1, UFL and Joy Taylor's rack. That's the only thing keeping Fox Sports alive.
I joke about this every day. It's the best hot take show to watch with no volume. Just Paul Pierce wearing wild ass costumes, Keyshawn just getting bigger and bigger every day.
I think CJ
Michael Irvin being just fucking juiced out of his mind. And then are we going to get Joy Taylor tits or no tits?
CJ
like
coined it the spice rack of how spicy is Joyce Taylor each day on her FS1 show.
Matt here. They just played this game.
Matt in the chat saying that UFL Jeff is still with the league.
Really?
No, don't.
Matt, please tell us more info, because we were told there was a mutual parting of the ways, and there's no way they're bringing him back, right? So Colby, you're going Arlington because they're a better team. That usually doesn't work out in this, especially in this UFL season.
Stoops is a long time college football coach. They've seen the running quarterback a lot. You know what I mean? Especially in the Big 12, every K-State game, I feel like. So I think they'll put the kibosh on Duggan's legs, make him beat you in the air. And I don't know that he can. So I will take the Renegades. I think they're the better team.
Yeah, they probably are, but St. Louis at home, I got away from it last week. I regretted it. I'm sticking with the Battlehawks at home. Kramer, what are you doing?
I worry. So I think Colby was kind of making it seem like Max Duggan was getting the most out of the fruit, and I will say I did take away a little bit like how this could be interesting, but I also I love the UFL and how we get these rematches so quickly.
Yeah,
and I told myself this year I'm not going to overthink it. We saw this game. It wasn't necessarily that close. Colby pointed out how St. Louis may be fortunate to get a win last week, inflating their value.
Arlington did win 30-15 in Arlington.
And what is the spread telling us? Well, are you kidding me? It's not the NFL. We're in the spring with 2.5. Yes, please.
The key number is 9 in the UFL.
You take the 2.5. You don't lay it, Sean.
That doesn't apply here. You guys are crazy. And Ryan, the gentleman who sent the Paisan Con graphic. I thought you were grabbing your pizza peel.
Oh,
but the gentleman, doctor, I don't know how many of our listeners are actual doctors or pretend to be doctors.
oh, nice. Hold on, I'm just getting the little Spring King book out of the pizza oven.
But the
There you
doctor,
go, Sean.
oh, thank you. Oh, that's hot. It's a nice calzone. The doctor reached out and saying his sharing of the Paisan Con flyer was not racist. My mother's maiden name was Zappia Paisano. You gentlemen are doing the Lord's
And
work.
now what you're probably wondering is what we have 2 copies of the Spring King. This is like
hardcover and
this is like David Blaine doing magic. No, and actually Amazon screwed up. We actually have 2 soft cover, 1 hard cover.
oh, great.
Yeah. Oh, what a great read. Again, forward by Bob Stoops. So we're all on Arlington.
Yep, let's go.
We
no, I'm on St. Louis.
You're sticking to your St. Louis.
Yep,
battle
minus
box.
2.5.
Can we get a caca?
Caca.
All right, and again, shout out to the UFL keeping it consistent. That was the Friday night game, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. Next up, we have slight variation on Saturdays. They just slotted in wherever they have room in the schedule, I guess. We got the Memphis Showboats and the Houston Roughnecks. Who, whoa, what happened last week with my Roughnecks? I'm donning the sweatshirt right now, but they absolute explosion as a dog. You idiots weren't on them. I was. Now they take on Memphis and they're laying 4.5 at home, minus 250 on the money line. Memphis plus 210, 36.5 is the total. This has to be the latest we've gotten into a spring season and no one's been eliminated. Very exciting.
Well, no one's ever. There's one team's 4-1. Everyone else is doesn't. You only one team is 4 wins, which is rare this late.
Yeah, no, it's the what they call it parody. The parody is delightful. Colby, are we riding this hot Roughnecks wagon?
Yeah, I mean, I think the bet detective says it best. CJ Sullivan there. Anytime you have a 3rd string quarterback and he goes in the game, he's the best. He's the best on the team. So McClendon has changed this. Now Curtis Johnson's still a fucking moron, which makes me always weary when you put money behind him. But I do think it is the right side. McClendon is one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I know we already said Perkins and Duggan, but I think McClendon. I mean, anyone, just the fact like that you could have a quarterback be 3rd string and be throwing at 69% completion percentage and actually down the field, like that is huge in a league like this. I mean, look at watch every Roughnecks game earlier. No, he only threw for like a $171, but he puts the fear in the defense with the capabilities that the other quarterbacks, the Roughnecks had previously, could not even do at all. So like he is by far one of the better quarterbacks in this league, just with arm talent and capability. And then when you add in the fact he can run the ball a little bit too, it makes you have to really prep for him. So I'm just going to keep riding this. A little scared Curtis Johnson because, he is a fucking moron. So
you're laying points with a moron.
Yeah. It's like the Mike Nolan play last week.
And it does feel like a letdown spot for the Memphis Showboats, but the counter is pretty easy. Who are the Roughnecks to be laying this many points? But they destroyed the Brahmas, kind of weak competition.
It's a letdown spot for both teams. They're not accustomed to winning games.
I'm going Showboats. This will actually end up being a competitive game. For some
hold
weird
on,
reason.
Sean. You want some help?
Sure.
Before they figured out they had an NFL arm on their roster, they won the game 18-17 in the Liberty Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm not going against my system. Give me the Roughnecks. Also, I've been riding the Roughnecks. I got Roughneck fever. I'm back. Also,
I'm going Memphis. I'm fading you guys. You guys are cold.
McClendon has a better arm than Shedeur, right?
Oh, how dare you?
The pop on his throws it's noticeable in this league. It's like when you watch a youth level league where there's just a kid that's just way better than
how it wasn't noticeable for Curtis Johnson and that coaching staff for weeks is fucking mind boggling.
Well, like you've said, Colby, it's not the first time we've had strange quarterback talent just emerge off the bench as like a 3rd or 4th stringer. All right, only Saturday game is at 9 a.m. So that's kind of a first. I don't know how much I love that. Next up, We got the DC Defenders, who I think technically are with point differential are the best team in the league. They're taking on Michigan Panthers. Panthers laying 4.5. Sorry, laying 2.5. -145 on the money line. DC +125. 42.5. Second 42.5 total for the week. Sean, they're creeping on up. This is a good game. This is a game of the week, 9 a.m. on Sunday. So almost in a football slot. How many will there be more concession workers or fans at the Michigan Panthers game, 9 a.m. on a Sunday? Colby,
or we're getting into, it's May, so we're getting into graduation territory.
Shit, they better reserve it.
Yeah. High schools, the speeches go long.
What is this line? I mean, it's basically saying that Mike Nolan's is going to play Bryce Perkins the whole game.
Yeah. And do we believe Mike Nolan? This basically is this line is it's a test of whether Mike Nolan's a liar or not. Because if he's not a liar and Bryce Perkins plays the whole game, I like Michigan laying the 2.5. But he's
I love it. I love it then. But I also thought last week I was like, he can't. He's so good. What did he throw, like 300 yards the week before? And it was like, oh yeah, there's no way they take him out of the game. He took him out of the game. I'll take Michigan though. I just feel like DC back-to-back away, and Michigan I think has the defense that could actually really give the offense. Their offense has been flying. And we're another week closer to the Tennessee State football season, so I like Michigan minus the 2.5 here.
I'm with you. Give me the Panthers laying the 2.5. In Bryce Perkins, we trust. In Mike Nolan, we trust for now. And shout out to David Matola in the chat saying, I need a big winner this week so I can get that $250 game used UFL football for my wife's Mother's Day gift.
Oh, wow.
As someone who's married, David, that is not going to win you any points.
It's very thoughtful.
My wife despises the UFL.
It's very thoughtful.
She thought football was over. Sorry.
Do you guys know about this? They're charging $250. We talked about this on the UFL Gambling Podcast. Their website to buy a football game used is $250.
No,
I shit you not.
No,
I shit you not. Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's a Ponzi scheme.
It's a pond. I bet you it's not even a game.
That's probably why that fan got slapped. He was probably like, "Let me get that ball, bro." It's like, "Fuck you, man."
No, this is my meal stipend here. Colby, what higher number? UFL game balls sold or number of recruits landed with the Army partnership.
Oh, wow.
No one's bought this ball.
Well, -38, right?
$250 for what? It's not even like the OG.
Doesn't have an autograph.
Well, it's not even like the OG XFL where they came out and it was like black and red. You remember that shit? It was like completely the gimmick ball. So I'd be like, I could see someone being like $250 for this thing that maybe could be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame one day. No, this is just a normal football.
We should call. All right, here's the plan. We call the UFL saying that we're a charitable organization. We'd like to buy all of the game used balls that they have and ask them how many they have in inventory. See what kind of, let's see what kind of we can put them into.
I'd like to buy 100.
See what they do. Be like, yes, sir. Or, I can't imagine they have more than has anyone bought one? Zero. No, I'd say zero people. Right?
No. This is probably what they put UFL Jeff in charge of. All right, Jeff, you got a marketing idea. We'll bring you back. Kramer,
I'm sorry. It's actually 300. I think it's not 250. It's 300.
What do you mean?
What do they charge you for shipping?
I'm going to send you a link here in a second here.
Kramer, what are you doing? Defenders or Panthers?
Love win. Well, I just did this whole thing about how you're supposed to take the 2.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the other way though. Cause I like Michigan at home.
First consensus play, Michigan Panthers laying the 2.5. And of course, shout out to Rhythm. Have you guys signed up over on Rhythm yet? sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get your 7-day free trial today. Perfect for dominating the NBA playoffs, MLB player props, sides, totals. They got it all. It's just great. I mean, again, I'm mostly a gut handicapper, but it's been awesome to have these models. Just great tools to help you get going here. Ryan, big game for the Knicks and Pistons Thursday night. Bad news for you. Rhythm likes Jalen Brunson under 28.5 points. I kind of agree with them.
Well, didn't he get hurt?
He's a little banged up. Tibbs has been weary using him fully, as you saw in Game 5 there. And these Pistons Knicks games are almost like old school, not quite as crazy, but they are very physical games. They were letting them play, and I think that's good for the under for the game, but also under for Jalen Brunson on his points. Get your free 7-day trial over at rhythmsportsgamblingpodcast.com/RATHMM and use the promo code SGPN 25% off monthly, 50% off the annual. SGPN 50. Download the app today. I said it. If you check out Rhythm, you don't like it after 7 days, come find me. You know where you can find me. And tell me why you don't like it, because I know you're a liar. And of course, Underdog Fantasy, Kramer, best ball is back. They're giving away $15 million in prizes in Best Ball Mania, and you can get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Best Ball Mania, $25 an entry. So if you're sitting at home right now, you could have 40 free shots to become a fantasy football millionaire. I never have become a fantasy football millionaire, Ryan. I did win 200K once, but that is the dream. And of course, get that bonus cash when you use the promo code SGPN and go to underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN.
All right. I saw the chat was it just Noah asking me about the youth basketball.
You were posting, Ryan.
I was posting images from a youth sports event earlier today. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I was saying they went. The prices dropped a little bit since our episode the other day. But continue your story.
Oh, I was just gonna say the halftime score was 31-2. The team that I was rooting for. Colby, what do you think the final score was?
31-2. That way better than my halftime score that one time. But
the visiting team had they were probably 2 for 15 from the free throw, 2 for 14 from the free throw line. The refs are really trying to get them some points. So it was 31-2.
So they didn't make a field goal during the first half.
No, 31-2.
No.
And our coach was playing like the worst possible lineup for a lot of the. Anyway, so what do we think the final score was?
70-14.
70-4. Sean, you want to take a guess? You already.
I already saw it, Ryan. I follow you on social media.
54-2. Colby. Wow. They did not score a point in the second half.
That reminds me of like a time when I was in high school, and one of my good friends, his younger sister, we all went to a game randomly just to I don't know why, but we went to the game, and her team lost 60-0, and it was so funny. The final 2 minutes of the game, because they realized they were going to lose 60-0. So every shot became that much important. Like some of them were like wide open layups, but they were trying so hard that they put too much on it. Like the pressure was building up, and it was pretty classic, because my friend's mom was like, "Don't you fucking say a word to any of us," because it was so devastating to the team when they scored 0, and we're all trying to laugh in the van on the way home. But we're all just keeping it in because we want to get bitched at by my friend's mom. But yeah, I mean, that's a great thing. I mean, I anytime you get anytime you got teams taking selfies, like with me when I lost by 96, when you have the opposing team doing selfies with the scoreboard, that's a good day for sport.
Yeah, I remember coming home from a high school football game. Parkland was like the powerhouse. We got lit up pretty good. And after you get your ass kicked in high school sports, you drag your ass onto the bus, and then there's that, it was like a 45-minute bus ride home, just dead silent. Cause if you talk, my coach would just lose his mind. He was the one who had a chipped front tooth cause his wife hit him in the face with the frying pan. He thought that was before he thought that was really funny. He's like, bitch, I probably couldn't say everything he said, but he goes, he thought that would stop me from yelling at her and hitting me in the face with the frying pan. And there was this guy, Louis Planis, very fun, gregarious dude. Shout out to Louis. And just dead silence. He just goes, Yo, we got our fucking asses kicked, and everyone just started laughing. Oh my god, dude, the coach was so pissed, but he nailed it. We did get our asses kicked.
I just appreciate somebody that got hit with the frying pan in the face.
Oh my god,
by his spouse. That's great.
Now, I don't know if that's actually the story, but either way, it looked like if you put a frying pan to someone's face, it would chip a tooth like that. So.
Yeah, cast iron especially.
No,
it's like Three Stooges shit was way ahead of time, way ahead of the times.
Oh my god!
All right. You want to last game,
Ryan?
1 p.m. on Sunday, Birmingham, Alabama. We're talking Brahmas, who seem to be nestling back into their worst team in the league position. With this last week's stir up of Memphis and Houston. Brahmas head to Birmingham.
Wow, they got their ass kicked.
Where they're catching 9.5 points. How can you make a number big enough after that performance against Houston? Plus 380 on the money line. Birmingham minus 490. In some regard, you should never have a money line like this in a spring football league. 37.5 is the total. Birmingham has been tough to trust, like in years past.
They've covered once this season, week 2,
I'm
right?
hoping. I'm thinking this is like Chiefs, where they just build to the playoffs and they take care of business.
I keep going back and forth, but I do think the Stallions off a loss, as we saw in week one. Week 1, they lost 18-11 to the Defenders in DC, and then week 2 they came back, went on the road, and took care
win.
Took care of the Michigan Panthers 21-12, covering, getting that home. It does feel like that's this situation, but how can you trust, Colby, the Stallions team to lay 9.5 points against anyone? They are totally asleep at the wheel. The only thing that makes it interesting is because they're coming off the loss. But Ryan, also too, I don't think it applies here, but the Brahmas are a close your eyes special.
No, we don't. That's not that.
That doesn't apply in the UFL.
That's not a thing in the UFL. To your point on them being asleep at the wheel, they are, after their wins against Michigan and Arlington. Listen to this schedule. So they had the at Houston game, which they won by 7, did not cover. Memphis, which they tanked the home game and lose it. And then they have San Antonio and Houston the next 2 weeks. So they are in the middle of this incredible who gives a shit. They know they're not playing these teams in the postseason. In some ways, these games don't really fucking matter. Give me the points. We're gonna regret this, but give me the points.
Colby, what are you doing?
Nah, man. Skip is like I know this line's ridiculous for a spring league. I mean, what?
Yeah, San Antonio just got beat by 24 points by Houston.
I know, but they beat DC, the best team in the league, the week before that, and that was on the road. So it's like,
I know. I'm just saying.
So wait, you're taking the Brahmas?
Yeah.
No, I'm laying it.
Oh, I'm taking the Brahmas.
Yeah, I thought so.
I'm just pointing out.
You just pointed out that they lost by 24.
I know, like the convergence of value here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with Colby. I think you lay it with 9.5 with the Stallions because they're coming off a loss. If they had won and eked out a victory against the hapless Showboats there, then I think you could talk me into them continuing to sleep on. They need to lock up a playoff spot. Nothing is guaranteed. This is the United Football League. The Stallions, they're playing for their playoff lives here.
I'm hoping
they're 3-2. They are not coasting by any means.
I believe Birmingham, who they've won 3 straight championships. They've had no one showing up to these games, but they've had a lot of Friday night games. Maybe Sunday, God's Day, they come out and do what Alabama does best: watch football. All right, and
they're probably eating though. Isn't this where you eat after church? Isn't this when they just get together and just eat? Maybe I doubt it. Birmingham, we took off the list. They don't have a good home field, and you could. So some might say that this is a playoff game for the Brahmas, as if they lose, they could be eliminated from playoff contention.
Well, but that doesn't stop some teams, like the shot to the LA Lakers just losing at home to the.
Is it over?
It's an elimination game, and they got eliminated. Oh my God, the hot takes. Get ready. Tune into FS1. Joy's got to have her twins on display, and they're going to be talking about, was trading for Luka a bad idea? Tune in.
Wow, the Dallas Mavericks really got one over on the Lakers.
I'm going to tweet out that the Mavericks won the trade just for people's response.
Yeah, no, I'm starting to reevaluate the Luka. Not in shape, not good in the playoffs.
I just saw Mac tweet out the photo of Nico saying the Lakers finished with one more playoff win than this guy. So the hot takes have begun.
Colby, real quick though, how do you want to comment on your co-host for the college basketball experience?
Enjoying
diving and loving the NBA.
Yeah, said it's the best league.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, look, I mean, it's dry time of year. You're trying to do whatever. It's like going to the bar. Yeah. It's like, your buddy that's hammered at the bar, just trying to get any type of ass out of a divorce. You know what I mean? So
they're about to do last call. Better saddle up to this.
Drop the net.
Mavs Lakers game.
That's what it's got to be. But we haven't had a conversation. But he knows not to bring it up with me. All right, it's like one of those things. It's like talking to your dad. You know what I mean? You just know certain shit. You're just like, nah, I'm not gonna float that out with him. You know,
what are you doing in this game?
Birmingham all day, dude.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Kramer, we got 3 locks and a dog for some reason.
Well, what are we doing here? You like lots of picks. Give me Arlington lock. I'm riding this Houston Roughnecks. I got Roughnecks fever. Lay the points and give me Michigan. Lay it against DC. For my dog, give me the Brahmas plus 380. Let's have some fun.
I mean, Stallions. Who knows? They're in turmoil right now. So I will go for my lock. Give me the Battle Hawks at home. Caw. Give me the Panthers laying the 2.5. Birmingham minus 9.5. And for my dog, give me the Showboats. Toot. Getting it done against your Roughnecks.
Is that what a showboat sounds like?
Yeah. Toot.
What the
Steamboat Willie? Look it up.
I thought they were just effeminate boats.
I don't showboats.
Yeah, like they're boats with jazz hands.
No, come on. They got sweet casinos on boats.
Sing, dance.
Yeah.
You ever seen Maverick?
Sure, they have some live theater, but I don't make any judgment about.
I've been saying that we should do an SGPN weekend.
Cruise.
Let it ride week.
Cruise.
Yeah, we start in Minneapolis. We take the Mississippi River all the way to New Orleans, and we're gambling on that thing the entire time, old school America style. Right?
Colby just unlocked it.
Yeah,
that's what it's called. It's the Let It Ride Festival.
Oh,
let's go.
I'm in. Let it ride on down the Mississippi. I saw Ozark. It was a great. I mean, things got fun when they had that riverboat casino.
Yeah, it's got to be a real.
He fell off again.
It's got to be a real riverboat. You can't. It's got to be one because those things don't go fast. So that's it right there, man. Let's do it. And
can you still gamble on the river?
Yeah.
Is that it's like international waters out there?
Well, I mean, I don't know about all those states along the Mississippi, but I think a decent amount of them. Yeah.
Imagine being such a square that you're going to get on a boat, ride to another boat just to tell some gentlemen they can't have a good time. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Colby, 3 locks and a dog. Let's go.
Number one lock by far is no one buys a $250 UFL game used ball.
They've knocked it down to 175.
Where do we find this thing?
Colby sent in the group text.
Yeah, nice. I swear this was not the case a couple days ago, but they've knocked it down to. I'm still gonna lock this up, Sean. Lock. No one buys a $175 game used UFL football. Top lock of the season. I'm gonna lock up the Michigan Panthers minus 2.5. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm perusing they have some awesome foam hats.
Very sad items.
The foam hats are excellent.
The cowboy foam hat I might get for the Stallions, but people might think I'm a cowboy.
I don't want to be mean too, but I have a feeling these mini helmets knowing the price of mini helmets. I think they're selling some cheapo mini helmets.
Knockoff mini helmets.
I don't think they're. They have patches though.
Colby, so you got the Panthers. What else?
We will lock up let's go with the Birmingham Stallions minus 9.5, Old Faithful. And then Yeah, I mean, let's just go for everything. Houston -4.5, and the dog is the Arlington Renegades.
Mount up. All right, everyone.
So I was gonna ask for maybe this could be the last thing we do. I was again perusing the store and I was a little taken aback by the finger on these number one. It's a little bit of a strange finger. I mean, what is this? This is not first run stuff. This is like the extras. Like,
hold on, I have another one to compare it to.
Oh, nice. Yeah, get a real foam finger. This doesn't look right. It looks like the finger's been broken, maybe.
Yeah, usually the number one finger's way bigger, right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, Colby's all right. Colby has multiple number one fingers to compare.
Okay.
Okay, well, first off, it's weird that they're only doing the one because Arizona State was doing the.
Oh yeah,
that right.
Beautiful.
And USC was also doing that.
Peace sign.
Yeah, but those are so much thicker.
But the Carolina Hurricanes, I went to a Hurricanes game, and it is look very dickish. So
it does look like a wrinkly penis with a sad sack.
It's like they put veins on the finger. That's unnecessary. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then you got we can get these too, guys. We could mount up with some foam UFL hats.
They can't even do the good Renegade logo. That one's just remember the Renegade switched to the classic logo, the one I have in the slideshow. And what is this bullshit? Who wants this? This is nothing.
They do have the classic patches. I'll give them that. And they're only $10.
We need to get some assless chaps and put a UFL Renegade logo on it and pretend. Colby, we got to talk to Jake and come up with some fake items and pretend that the UFL store is selling them.
Yeah, can we do a ULF game?
Just move the letters.
Yes, just move the letters, and then we'll sell it for $150 and see if anyone
you can
bites
choose your team. You can choose the team for the game.
They're all priced the same.
Yeah, but I mean that doesn't even. To your point, this looks like a cheap football. There's no way that is the game used football.
No, I would notice if it had that giant silvery UFL logo, right?
Now
it says Game USA Authentic Football. It doesn't say Game Used. So maybe it's It's just
that makes more sense because when I googled Game Used, the first link had a $300 ball.
But why would a football cost $175 anyway?
No, they're just so fucking dumb.
Come on, guys.
Don't you? You're trying to promote a league.
Every kid should be playing with this shit. If you just did a $3 football, every kid would play, and then it would be right in your brain.
$17.99. Yeah, we sell hoodies and T-shirts at the gift shop, our store. Do we charge $174 for them? I guarantee you they're getting the same price we get our hoodies for, Ryan. I guarantee you that's what UFL. So what, you're gonna make the league profitable by 9,000% margins on your fucking merch? You should be happy that people are watching this piece of shit and they want to give you money. Stop.
All right, for pricing reference, you can, for the same exact price, $179 actually, you can get the NFL equivalent. It's a Super Bowl used game football.
Yes,
dude. You can get a real
official game football from the Super Bowl. That's from the Super Bowl.
Dude, the Wilson NFL Authentic Football, the Duke, the official one from the NFL store, is $145
with the team decal. So you can get the equivalent of this in the NFL, but it's a real Wilson football. It's the football they actually use, and it has the same NFL logo. Oh, I'm putting this on the screen. This is ridiculous.
This Houston Gamblers, which they should have used the Houston Gamblers because that's much cooler than the Roughnecks. Dude, this thing was like $100 or $75 or something. What?
This is the NFL equivalent.
Yeah,
and it only costs $140. and
it's a team you might actually like. God, this league is such a pile of shit.
That's got to be a pond. Well, no one's bought. how many footballs have they honestly?
No, 100% zero. 100% zero.
And another thing is the OG XFL in 2000 when Vince McMahon first started this. Like I look, I don't like it, but he had a black football that was black and red. Do you remember that thing? Right?
Yeah.
Like
Don't
Google
ask
image
how it
that
got
thing. But at least that was like, I could understand people like, man, I've never had a black and red football before. Let me go get but this is just a regular football. Why not? Weren't we joking around about like a K2? Remember the K2? A K2 is better than this,
one.
right?
Beautiful
K2 is way
Lawrence-
better than this.
Lawrence Taylor signed football on eBay right here for $105.
Comes with a key bump. All right.
I had
good
41 beers to buy, and I bought that.
41 Coors Light. Great time as always. Make sure you check out the UFL Gambling Podcast with Colby, J Mark, and our buddy CJ Sullivan. Next episode up, we got the Derby. Derby week's upon us. Of course, go to nyrabets.com/SGPN25. Get in over there. And Rhythm, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. NBA playoffs, MLB player props. They got you covered. Great times as always. And of course,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
for the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Sean, great episode.
Kramer, let it ride. It's in the hot water on the other thing.